on, Charlie Brown. Oh, come on, Charlie Brown.
Oh, hello, Adam. How's it going, my man?
Oh, hello, Jeremy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Great catching up. We're catching you live in Tulum, Mexico. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see that beautiful scenery behind you right now. For those listening, you can feel the sunlight. You can feel the vibrance coming from Adam. Adam, I know you. I know who you are. Why don't you tell the viewers and the listeners who you are?
Sure. I've been an industry veteran. I've been in the space for about 20 years now. Worked 10 years in publishing, 10 years across ad tech, the agency world as well. And most recently, I spent time leading business development at Condé Nast, and then moved on to be the head of industry for the media and publishing category at Firework, which is a live commerce solution with a strong backing by SoftBank. And now I'm just in the consulting space and living my best life here in Tulum.
You are absolutely living your best life. You've worked at some amazing hot companies. You've done some great things. It was fun working with each other in the past. Tell me and tell us, the listeners, a little bit more about what defines you.
Well, there's a lot of things that define me. I think there's always good and there's bad, but the biggest thing, I'll start with the bad. I'm a Jets fan. That is but it's also great because it's helped me build resiliency, loyalty, understanding what it feels like to have failure in your life.
Cubs fan before 2016, Chicago Bears fan. I get it.
But no, in all seriousness, I think what defines me is just work ethic, hustle, respect, humility, being humble. I've been fortunate enough to be exposed to about 5 to 6 different startups in my career, one of which I pursued myself. The startup didn't go the direction it needed to. And then I think in that experience alone, I experienced feelings and emotions, both mentally and physically, that I didn't think I would ever be exposed to. And that only comes through failure. But I wouldn't trade the learnings and education in that experience for anything else in the world. I've also been fortunate enough to be part of about 2 or actually 3 exits. So I've
Nice.
seen both success and both failure across the landscape. So I think what defines me is just being able to understand there's always some learning that can come out of every situation.
So essentially what you're going to be able to give back to the OhHello community as one of our OhHello.io mentors is resiliency. The fact that you should always keep on learning and stay curious.
Precisely. I think that's it. I think you hit it on the nose.
So we're going to switch this up a little bit in comparison to some other pods and vods we've done. We're going to change up a little bit of the flow, a little bit of the structure. Let's talk about some of the mentors that have had a profound impact on your career, that have made you who you are today. We're able to say, you know what, I'm going down to Tulum for a while. And then after that, I want to hit on some of the industry topics that you and I talked through, just getting your perspective, your take specifically on the future of commerce, brands becoming retailers, retailers becoming brands, and anything else that you want to talk through. So hit on the mentors that have had a profound impact
for sure
on your career.
There's so many people who've had an impact on me, both people I know personally, people I know professionally, or people I don't even know at all, right? I'd be amiss if I didn't at least start with my family,
Nice.
My parents. I mean, you're impressionable at a very, very young age. And my parents instilled a ton of hustle and work ethic in me, taught me respect, which is something that's really important across the board. I've got 2 older brothers. My oldest one has great financial literacy and being reliable by himself, right? My middle brother, he's taught me accountability and reliability. He's taught me family. He's shown me, he's got a beautiful family himself. My cousins, they're all serial entrepreneurs.
Awesome.
So, each one of them have contributed all their best qualities and kind of bestowed those on me. I am the youngest out of all of them. And so I do have the fortunate benefit of seeing their success and their failures, but I also have the, I would say, responsibility of carrying on their legacy in the right ways. Now, believe it or not, from family, from a personal level, I have a friend. His name is Jack Kim. He's just an all around great friend, overall great human. I consider him a mentor because he has wealth in his life, which comes from family and love and being able to make good decisions. And so he's helped me keep me humble. He's been a great listener. But from a professional standpoint, there's probably, I'd say, maybe three, four people that really have a profound impact on me. I'll start with the gentleman I've known the longest. He was one of my first clients. He ran Incisive Media. I was selling him advertising space back when we were selling like print ads, like where we had to actually cut out and do the layouts yourself. His name is Matt
I do.
McGowan. Yeah, his name is Matt McGowan. He's currently the country manager on GM for Snapchat in Canada.
Nice.
He started off as a client, became a friend, and ultimately what we call as a friend tour. I just saw him recently in Toronto. He's one of the sharpest guys I know, one of the most humble people I know. My former business partner, I actually, when I was launching a social ad platform, he helped lead the product and I did the client servicing, the sales side. His name is Sumant Yaramili. He's currently the GM from a retail media side of Philo. He's gone
Nice.
through two successful exits himself, came from Techstars. He's been a rock for me. He lives in LA with me, but he's always been there. And he's become a very, very close friend to me.
A lot of great people at Philo.
Yeah, my former CEO, CitizenNet was acquired by Condé Nast about 4 or 5 years ago. Dan Benjamin, he's the
Yep.
CEO.
I've met
He's
Dan.
had two, he's had two successful exits himself. He's currently the VP of product at Condé Nast. Dan has taught me so much. He's again one of the most humble people I know. If you notice something, there's like a common theme here, which is being humble and a lot of humility. And I think all of them have that, and they've kind of instilled that with me. And then lastly, one of the reasons why I'm in Tulum, the CEO of Block Fusion, which is a Bitcoin, or sorry, crypto mining company. His name is Alex Martini. He's a serial entrepreneur himself, and he's been incredible. He's been an advisor to me in the past in my former startup and a mentor. I met him in 2011. Ironically enough, he's only given me advice on two things with urgency. In
Yeah.
2011, 2012, he told me one word, Bitcoin. I never listened to him. 2016, and I didn't listen to him either when he said Tulum in 2016. Back then, you could buy a lot of land in Tulum for like 30,000.
Wow.
Now you fast forward like 6 years, a lot of land in Tulum will be over like 200,000 up to maybe even like $600,000.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a pretty good return. So yeah, these
So
are the people that have had a huge impact on my life.
so I think the advice from that friend moving forward would be when you hear what he says, take action quickly.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and I think when my next venture launches, which is what I'm actually working on a proof of concept on with him right now. We're going to go through the MVP process now, and if it works out, you'll hear about it. It's in partnership with him, hopefully.
That's awesome. That's great. You and I were riffing right before this on the future of commerce and your experience at Firework, which is a fascinating company. Why don't you hit on some of the points and some of the nuggets that you were telling me, as we all know that this is such a fast moving industry, and when you combine video and personalization and commerce all at one, my Tube Mogul and Adobe Ad Cloud experience of video, commerce, personalization, though all of those just make me go, oh, that was an exciting chat that we had. I would love for you to instill some nuggets and just some of your perspective to our audience.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'll give you perspective. I don't want to go into any specific company, but I can give you a
Sure.
lot of the vision and the thought leadership that I've kind of drum up as a thesis and
Cool.
why it's led me to certain decisions in my career. I'd say while at CitizenNet and Condé Nast specifically, I realized that as the rise of social became very, very prevalent, I realized that every brand is becoming a media company. And when I say brand, I'm not just talking about retailers, which are obviously becoming media companies now, but I'm talking about every brand. If you're an influencer, you're a brand. If you're a mom and pop shop in Kentucky, you're a brand.
Yep.
If you are Applebee's, you're a brand because, you know, these brands are all then have some form of unique audience. And if they have an audience, a story to tell, and a platform, they are now a media company. And so that's why I do consider like every brand is now becoming media companies. And the platforms are really the walled gardens. Those are the ones that give all these brands an opportunity to tell their story to their right audiences. So I'd say this has been a shift in the last 10 years, and we're seeing it now, in real time. And as part of that, you've seen this rise in social branded content, right?
Mhm.
Branded content that predominantly lives in the walled gardens and vertical video. And that's been a huge piece of business for any influencer, as you know, any
Yep.
media company. You've got some of the biggest media companies out there. I can't name any specific names, but I can say that with confidence that they're diversifying their revenue lines by utilizing platforms like a TikTok or like a Facebook or an Instagram for running audience extension. And the revenue lines can be anywhere between 10% to up to 50% of their overall top line revenue. And that's coming off the platforms, right?
It's a lot.
And sometimes all they're doing is they're just taking either advertiser supplied content or they're building their own content for the brand and they're just arbitraging the traffic, right? So there's a big business there, very simple concept to understand, and it's scaling really well. So when I think about that, I think about this analogy. Anyone who knows me, right, and you go back to what defines you, if you know me, you know I love pizza. Okay, I fucking love pizza. Yes, I have a stance that like pineapple does not belong on pizza, but when I use branded content as an analogy, branded content is like pizza, okay? And if you're a child, right, typically you won't eat broccoli or pineapple by itself. But if you put that shit on some pizza, you'll consume that, right?
Right.
And that's why I
Right.
say branded content is like pizza because like you can consume some content from your best content creators, and you can talk about a brand. You'll still listen, you'll still watch because you want to
Right.
see the rest of that content, right? And so as I see this happening, I also see some of the biggest value that these creators or media companies bring are their audiences. And as we head into these, I would say a slow session with these like macroeconomic trends, I'd
Yep.
say sponsorship budgets and advertising budgets that are net new are going to be a little harder to grasp. So I definitely think, and this, again, this is just my thesis here. I definitely think media companies are becoming retailers now. I think there's a lot of media companies who are going to try to sell SKUs on their own that they develop as their own IP. If you look at Bustle, Bustle's created their own shop. Allure has their own shop. Allure
Yep.
has created a brick and mortar at one point. Pretty much every influencer is now tapping in to an affiliate solution like an LTK, right? You've got this affiliate commerce space. So I do feel that every media company, whether you're a small influencer or a big media conglomerate like NBCU or Condé Nast, you're becoming a retailer in some capacity. With the current macroeconomic trends, I also feel like for brands, it's a safer space to play if you're going to pay a content creator or a media company on performance because it guarantees some level of performance, right? So definitely think that's one of the theses that I've been leaning into.
Nice.
It's led
Nice.
me to my career decisions. You know, I definitely think Firework is an amazing technology and company that can help propel some of these solutions in the marketplace. But you know, at the same time, when I look at ad tech and I even look at creative tech, there's so much money being pumped into that side of the industry, right?
Of
One
course.
thing that one thing that I noticed is that there hasn't been that much money or disruption or innovation around the affiliate commerce space. You know, I think the last company that's really made a splash is Stack Commerce, and they had their exit. So, in my opinion, it's a blue ocean strategy. I think there's room for disruption, room for enhancement within the affiliate commerce space, specifically when you look at it at the intersection of content creation. So that's sort of like
Great.
my thesis in a nutshell of
Well,
how I kind of perceive the market.
that's awesome. Adam, we appreciate you. We're excited to have you on the OhHello platform. Thank you, my friend. Excited to have everyone pick you. Talk soon, my man. Thank you.